I've made lots of videos about hip osteoarthritis and dietary interventions, exercise interventions, lifestyle interventions that will give you a great chance of avoiding a hip replacement, of recovering from your arthritis and healing like I did. But there's never a guarantee. So sometimes you just will end up needing a hip replacement because the damage is so bad, it's so far gone, it doesn't heal. The exercises and the nutrition might make you feel a little better, but it will never make you completely right. And there are times when it's just inevitable and you are going to have a hip replacement. So where does that leave you then? Welcome to Shapefixer. I'm Andrew. I'm a nutritionist. I'm a sportsman. I had hip osteoarthritis. I don't have it anymore. I'm running again. I'm going to the gym. But I know people who have had a hip replacement and it worked for them. So where does this leave us when it comes to nutrition and exercise, and how do we know, and when should we do it and when should we not do it, and what is going to give us the best chance of recovering from the surgery if we do have a hip replacement, and what should we be doing before the surgery to prepare ourselves for the hip replacement? Right. I'm going to cover nutrition and I'm going to cover exercise because those are the two real keys. The point about nutrition is to lower your weight, because 20 pounds less before the operation means that once you have your artificial hip, that's 20 pounds less of weight pressing down on that new joint. So that can only be a good thing just from that point of view. Never mind that the fact that losing weight is just healthy and has other benefits anyway. So we need to eat right to get our weight down. We need to get our inflammation down, because inflammation interferes with healing and inflammation is painful. And you don't want excess pain after the operation, and you want to heal and recover from the operation as quickly as you can. So you want to eat to keep your inflammation down as well. And then thirdly, you want to eat to get all the nutrients that your body needs to strengthen up the support tissues around that joint, because that joint, that artificial joint, needs to be supported by muscles and tendons around it. So if you eat the right foods, you're able to build stronger muscles and stronger tendons. So diet is absolutely essential. Now, the diet you should follow would be the same diet that you should follow trying to avoid the hip replacement in the first place. So you follow that diet anyway, and if you do end up needing a hip replacement, that diet will really do you a lot of good. And I'm going to link the video here down below to the video I made called Your Arthritis Diet. Now, basically it's a ketogenic diet because you really want to cut sugars out for inflammation, for weight, for energy metabolism. The best type of ketogenic diet to keep inflammation down and to give you all the nutrients you need is an animal-based ketogenic diet, if you're comfortable with that, and ideally actually a carnivore diet. But that's not for everyone, and obviously you've got to do what works for you. I'm on a carnivore diet now. I didn't use a carnivore diet to avoid my hip replacement. I was on a general ketogenic diet and it worked. So I'm linking that down here, but I'm also linking down here a really useful video about 3 very effective but very simple and easy to do exercises that you can do in your own home to build the strength up, to rebalance the power distribution in the muscles around the hip, particularly the glute muscles and the gluteus medius, which is typically where the weakness occurs that leads to the development of hip osteoarthritis in the first place. So you want to strengthen that muscle back up again because A, you might recover to the point where you don't need the surgery, but if you do still need the surgery, then at least once you've had the surgery, those muscles are already strong. I have a friend who's a friend now. We made friends through this channel here on YouTube, and he had hip osteoarthritis, and he followed all my advice, and he made significant progress, but in the end he needed a hip replacement. He went and had his hip replacement, and in the same week, within the week after, few days after his hip replacement, he was walking 2 and 3 miles a day because he had eaten properly and he had done the exercises and his body was ready to accept this surgery. So eating right and exercising right with hip osteoarthritis isn't only so that you can avoid the surgery. Obviously, that's first prize, and in a lot of cases that actually works. If it doesn't, and you do have to eventually have the surgery because you just can't live with it anymore, and that is actually going to give you the best chance of getting some mobility back and reducing your pain, then if you've eaten properly and you've followed the right exercise regime, you will be so much better placed and able to recover and have a normal physical life again after your hip surgery. And remember, you don't have only one joint. You have two hips, two knees, two ankles. You have a lot of joints in your body, and you don't want to go around from one to the other, replacing them in order because you're eating wrong, because you're inflamed, because you're overweight, and because your muscles are out of balance. So address it before the surgery. Doing these exercises after the surgery is going to be good too, so you want to keep them going, but it's ideal if you've done them before. So if you've even booked for surgery and you know you're going to have surgery, look at these videos below here. Change your diet now and start doing the exercises now to prepare your body to deal with the after effects of that surgery. And subscribe to our channel. We make lots of videos on a weekly basis. We have a lot of videos on osteoarthritis, so you can go through the videos in the homepage on this channel, and there will be a lot more information there useful to you. Right, thank you very much for your time. All the best of luck. Good luck. You never know. Try it now before the surgery. You may be one of those people who actually doesn't need the surgery after all.